Good morning, jr4. Hope all of you are okay. Let's start with a new lesson, lesson 4, which is talking about the digestive system. But don't forget, jr4, that we're still in concept 1, which is talking about the adaptation. But today we will talk about adaptation in the digestive system and respiratory system. Before we start with the first one, which is the digestive system, don't forget, jr4, that any living organism consists of some systems, and each system consists of a specific or a group of organs that are working together to perform a specific function. So now we can conclude that any living organism consists of a group of systems, like what? Like digestive system, respiratory system, nervous system, and so on. And each system has to have a group of organs to can perform or to can do or finish their functions. Okay. Let's start with a small notes. Number one, digestive system and respiratory system are working together to get energy. But in case of digestive system gets energy from the food. But in case of respiratory system, so respiratory system gets the energy from breathing. Number two, the body gets nutrients from the food that provide the body with the needed energy. So we can take the energy from the nutrients that found in the food. Okay, but why we need the energy, Junior, for? We need energy for many activities like walking, talking, sleeping, and so on. And we also need the energy to do a lot of functions inside our bodies. Like what? Like thinking, Junior 4, like heart beating, like breathing, and a lot of things. Um, you have to know, Junior 4, that in one day we just need energy to can do these activities. Like what? Like heartbeats. We need in the one day around 100,000 times to make the heartbeat. And we also take over 20,000 pieces. And of course, we have thousands of the steps. So for all of these activities and all of these functions, we need, of course, the energy for them. Now, let's start with the digestive system, but in human. We will talk about the digestive system in 3 living organisms, in human, in cow, in dog. Let's start with the first one, human digestive system. We say that we need the nutrients from the food to can get the energy. Okay, but you have to know, Junior 4, that our bodies can't understand the food as it is. Like what? Like if I eat a piece of bread, my body can't understand this piece of body contains a lot of carbohydrates. So the digestive system has to enter, to can translate this piece of carbohydrates in a specific nutrients by using a specific chemical substances. By using what? A specific chemical substances. Why? To can get the energy from this piece of bread. Okay? So the main rule of the digestive system to break down the food into smaller parts to can make our bodies understand these nutrients and they can get the energy from it. So now you have to differentiate between the digestive system and the digestion process. Digestive system, it's the system responsible for what? Responsible for breaking down the food into small parts by using what? By using a specific chemical substances. Why? To get energy. Okay? But digestion process means process used to break down the food and they change the food into chemical substance. Why we need to change the food into chemical substance? To can also make our bodies can understand this type of food or this type of energy, okay, and they can absorb the energy from the food and make us grow. When we started to look to this diagram jr4, we will found that it start with the mouth and end with something called anus, okay. So now we have number one, the mouth. After that, we have saliva glands. After that, we have something behind the saliva glands, which is called pharynx. After that, we have a tube, which is called esophagus. Then we have the liver. After that, stomach. Then behind or nearer to near to the stomach, we have pancreas. After that, we have large intestine. Inside it, small intestine. And finally, we have the anus. So now we start with the mouth and we end with the anus. Okay? Okay. We will find also jr4 that all these organs we can call now all these organs with or all these organs to make a specific function, and we will find that all of them are arranged in a specific way. Why? Because each one of them has a specific rule to digest the food by arranging them by this way. And we will understand it very well after a few minutes. So let's start with the first mouth. But before we start, don't forget that we said that the organs of the digestive system are connected and organized in a way that allow the food to complete the process of the digestion, starting from the mouth and ending with the anus or excretion. Let's start with the first organ, which is mouth. Inside our mouth, jr4, we will find that we have three another organs. Number one, our teeth. Number two, saliva. And number three, tongue. Number one, our teeth. Our teeth are used to break down the food into smaller particles, or we can say that we use our teeth to chew the food, Number two, saliva has two important rules. Number one, it helps in the digestion of some types of food, like what? Like carbohydrates. Saliva used to digest some types of food like carbohydrates. Okay. Number two, it make the swallowing process more easy by make the food to be moist, jr4. Okay. Number three, our tongue. It makes the food with saliva in our mouth. So now we started to separate, or we start to break down the food into smaller particles by using our teeth. After that, started to moist this food by using saliva to make it easy for swallowing, and we start also to mix the food with saliva by using our tongue. Now our food will go into or transfer to our stomach by using the upper for it. What is the upper in our digestive system? Will be our esophagus, okay? But the food will reach to the stomach by using what, or move to the stomach by using this soft tube, which is called esophagus. It's long and muscular. muscular means jr4 to be something soft, and it will be more soft than our bones, and had the ability to be contract and relax. So we need to make the food moist before we swallow it to can make it soft for our esophagus. So don't hurt it. Yeah. Okay. Don't forget that also junior food we use the pharynx to can push down the food to can pass through esophagus. So once we start to chew the food in our mouth, then moist it by using saliva. After that, we started to swallow it by using the pharynx also to push down the food to can pass through esophagus to reach to our what stomach. As you can see here, junior 4, at the end of esophagus, we what will find the or our stomach. Number one, our stomach is a muscular organ. So we said that muscular, which means that has the ability to contract and relax. What is the function of the stomach? The function of the stomach, once the food reaches to the stomach, it will face two enzymes or two liquids. Number one, stomach acids. And the acids here means junior for something like the lemon, you know, of course, the lemon. Lemon is considered as an acid. So inside our stomach, there is something or there is a substance semi-like the lemon called stomach acids, okay? And digestive juices. Don't forget that digestive juices here means specific enzymes. Enzymes means type of a liquid used also to make our transferring for the food from the large particle into a smaller particle easy, okay? So our stomach start by using these two assistant stomach acid and enzymes started to use both of them to change our food into a soupy liquid, to change both of them into a soupy liquid. Okay, you have to know also that food stays in the stomach for few hours. Then the muscular of the stomach move the food into a long winding tube, which is called small intestine. So we always find in U4 that if we have any type of training, our captains said that you have to eat before your training by minimum 2 hours. Why? To can make sure that all the food that you eat are digested very well. Why? Because the food stay in your stomach few hours. It's not something spontaneous or something that happens quickly. Okay, and also it depends on the type of the food that you will eat. So now we start with the mouth. After that, the food reach to the stomach by using the esophagus. Now we will start with the small intestine at first. Don't forget that we start with small intestine at first. And when we look to the small intestine, we will find that a specific tube. This tube is so long. Its length, junior 4, reach to more than 6 meters. 6 meters? Yes, 6 meters inside our stomach. Okay. Inside the stomach, we will find that after the food coming from the stomach to the small intestine, liver and pancreas start to secrete a specific enzymes into the small intestine through the stomach. Okay, so liver and pancreas started to secrete a specific enzymes into small intestine by using or through stomach. So stomach here will reach or deliver the food and the specific enzymes from liver and pancreas to the small intestine. Okay, After that, we will find that the food started to absorb from it specific nutrients to can use them to reach to the blood vessels through the wall of the small intestine. After that, started to separate or distribute these nutrients to the all parts of the body by using what? By using the blood. So the food reach to the small intestine. After that, the nutrients get out from the food. Why? Because now we can say that the digestion process is ended and we started to get out, or we can now translate this type of food or this type of energy, and we started to use these nutrients by taking it from the wall of the small intestine to the blood vessels. After that, blood started to distribute all this energy or all these nutrients to all the other parts. Okay, so we can say that the function of the liver, the function of the small intestine. Number one, it completes the digestion of different types of food. So we can say that once we reach to the small intestine, we can say that the digestion process is ended. Number two, it absorbs the nutrients or the digested food and get out these nutrients, we said, through the wall of the small intestine. Inside the small intestine, it will separate the food into two groups. Number one, digested food, which we can use its benefits, and undigested food. What is meant by undigested food? Sometimes we can eat specific types of food, and we found that our stomach can't digest this type of food, so it will be undigested food, and the body has to get out this type of undigested food because it's something unhealthy to stay inside our stomachs or our body in general. So small intestine start to deliver this type of undigested food into the large intestine. Okay. After that, we will find that the food or the undigested food started to go to the large intestine. Why? Goes to the large intestine, number one, to can absorb the water from the undigested food. After that, it becomes solid. Like what, jr4? Like if we have a tissue and we started to moist it by using water, after that we started to press on these tissues to make sure that there isn't any water inside it. After that, we can see that it's something like the ball, and it will be so hard and dry. The undigested food in the large intestine become like that, become so soft. Why? Because it starts to moist or get out all the water from this undigested food to become solid. After that, gets out through the anus, and at this point we can say that the food or the digestion process is completely ended. So if we take another look in this diagram, so we will find that we start with the mouth, after that saliva, then pharynx, after that esophagus, stomach, then to the small intestine, and inside the small intestine we take a specific enzymes from the liver and pancreas through the stomach. Finally, we reach to the large intestine, and the undigested food gets out through the anus. So we will find that the arrangement that I said all is correctly to the this diagram. So we can say that, of course, the organs of the digestive system are already connected and organized in a specific way. So if we have what happens when one of the organ of the digestive system is absent, we can deny any important or any rule of these all organs. So all of them are so important, and in case of the absence of any one of them, so the digestive system will not perform its function. Okay. How can we keep our digestive system healthy? How we can keep our digestive system healthy, Junior 4? Number one, by chewing the food very well. Why? Because we said that the food will pass through esophagus, and we said that this type of tube is so soft, so you have to chew the food very well to don't hurt it during the swallowing. Number two, don't eat much fast food or fast meals. Why? Because it's so unhealthy, have a lot of unuseful fats, and may be cooked by unhealthy ways and so on. So you have to avoid this type of food to don't make your digestive system hard or has a very problem or a very difficult process. Number three, drink a lot of amount of water, because to make your body moist, junior 4 is something so important. And moist means to make it not dry, to make it moist. Okay. Practice sports regular. You have to practice sports regular to make sure that your all organs are active and can take a pace. Okay. So we can conclude or summarize that the function of the digestive system to extract the nutrients from the food that we eat. Number two, digest the food and absorb the energy from it to can grow and to can give the energy to another organs that need. We said that we will talk about the digestive system in the human, cow, and dog. So here you have to know that the digestive system in a lot of organs are similar in some points and dissimilar in another points. So we can say that we all similar in that we all human, cow, and dog have mouth, esophagus, stomach, and intestine. But we will find that the stomach for the cow is totally different from the human and so on. Okay. So next video we will talk about the digestive system in the cow and the digestive system in the dog, and also we will end with the respiratory system and know how we can adapt by using the respiratory system. Thank you and goodbye.